Hey guys, welcome to the Thursday Footy Best Bets. I'm going to go through my three best bets across the AFL today and also the NRL. We got two AFL games, Essendon versus Collingwood and GWS versus Brisbane. Both really, really good games. Last night we had the Richmond-Melbourne game, which was a very low-scoring match, which suited our bet on the Richmond team total going under. But the games today definitely look a lot more exciting. Both Essendon and Collingwood coming into this matchup off wins, and historically, this is a really, really good game. Essendon have covered 7 of the past 9 against Collingwood, but the Pies have won the past 4 head-to-head. I think Collingwood get the win here. Not really super keen on them at the line, though. I did contemplate the 1-39 as an option for this game for Collingwood. But instead, I've decided to go with the player prop because I think Collingwood's going to win this game. So I'm going to take them to win. But also looking through the numbers for both sides. Both sides give up high numbers of disposals and also uncontested possessions for both sides. So I'm going to take a player from each side in order to get 25 plus disposals and also the Pies to win. So the bet that I'm going to go with is Collingwood head-to-head. Zach Merritt for the Bombers, 25 plus or more disposals, hit that in all 6 games this season. He's ranked second for the Bombers in uncontested possessions, and he leads the Bombers in contested possessions. So that stacks up well here against Collingwood, who's ranked 12th in the league in that category. Then finally, Nick Dacos to get 25 or more disposals. Over the past 2 seasons, he's only missed this on 2 occasions. Once against Hawthorn when he was injured earlier in the game, and then he had 22 touches in a game earlier this season, but he's hit it in every other game. And against Essendon, who ranked 13th in the league in opponent uncontested possessions. He leads Collingwood in uncontested possessions. I think that stacks up well for him to get 25 plus touches. And obviously, both those players are very, very key to their overall team's performance. And on the big stage for the ANZAC Day match, I think both will step up and Collingwood to get the win by around that 3-goal margin. Then in the later game, GWS take on the Brisbane Lions. GWS, number 1 attacking side in the league. Brisbane held that mantle or top 2 side over the past couple of seasons. They haven't really been putting it together this year, but they do get an opportunity. They put up a big score against North Melbourne the one time they played a poor defensive side. Not that GWS are poor, but they're ranked in the bottom half of the league in points conceded and opponent shots and goals. So Brisbane are going to get their opportunities, and I think they can start to improve their attacking numbers. And then defensively, Brisbane are performing well defensively, but whether that can hold up against a Giants side averaging 106.3. Also, you do have the game last week between Brisbane and Geelong affecting both of these numbers, keeping them touch lower than they really should be. So for this game, I'm going to take the over 167.5 points at $1.91. I was even interested in the over 171.5 that it was earlier in the week. But the fact that it's dropped 4 points, which I find a little bit weird. If you go back through the previous meetings for these sides, the past 4, the total's all been 170 or more. Toby Green is out for the Giants for this game. He's had 9 goals this season, so he's not leading the Giants goal kicking or anything. But that's the only major change that effectively could affect the total. So the fact that it has come down, I do find very, very interesting. And also GWS have shortened since that news came out from the tribunal. So it's kind of the opposite to what you would expect, but that's just what has happened. But with 8 of the past 11 between these two sides going over, both sides definitely capable of scoring points, scoring them quickly, and the uncertainty whether Brisbane's defense can hold up against the Giants, definitely like the over in this game. Looking at the efficiency ratings for both sides going forward, GWS ranked number 1 in goals per inside 50 and 4th in scoring shots per inside 50. And even though Brisbane defensively, their numbers are good, opponent goals per inside 50, they're ranked 10th in the league, and scoring shots, they're ranked 9th in the league. So their defensive efficiency isn't as strong as the overall numbers actually suggest. This is like the major problem for the Lions is their efficiency going inside 50. But against the Giants side, who's also ranked in the bottom half of the league in opponent efficiency stats defensively, then I think the Lions can put points on the board. And they have scored 99 plus in their past 4 against the Brisbane Lions. So I like them to get the job done here and send that game over the total points line. So those are the two plays in the AFL. Then in the NRL, we have 3 games starting at 2 p.m. Not super keen in betting into all 3 of these games. The Warriors should bounce back and get the win, but with the line at minus 12.5, that's a little bit too big, even against the Titans on the road here. Warriors have a really good record against Gold Coast, especially over in New Zealand. But the Titans have kind of made a habit over the past couple of weeks of hanging around in games. And there's Sean Johnson is listed to play, but there has been some injury concerns with an Achilles for him throughout the week. So for those reasons, I'm just going to stay out of that game, but I think the Warriors definitely get the job done. The Dragons-Roosters game, a couple of key outs for the Roosters. This is another game I'm going to stay away from. And if you watched any of my videos previously, you'll know that one of the things that I genuinely believe when it comes to betting is you don't have to bet in every game. Like, for example, today we've got 2 AFL games on. Of the 3 NRL games, I'm only going to bet into one of them. Plus, I got 13 horse racing bets coming up this afternoon. Betting in the baseball, NBA, and NHL all today as well. So it's about really picking your spots. And like during the baseball season, for example, you got 10 to 15 games every single day. If you try and bet in all 10, 15 games, it's going to be very, very hard for you to win. Your goal needs to be to go through the games and look for where you think there are errors in the markets, as opposed to just really trying to work through and find a bet in that matchup just because you're looking at it. So the Dragons-Roosters game, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dragons do cover this. That my issue with the Dragons is just their consistency, whether they can consistently hold their form week on week. We haven't seen them do it. They put up good performances here and there, but doing it consistently has been the concern. But I feel like the Roosters are a touch vulnerable. On paper, they should get the job done, but I don't want to back them. Then the last game, Storm versus the Rabbitohs. This is the game I'm going to be betting into. Numbers-wise, the Storm completely dominate this matchup. In attack, the Storm numbers ranked 12th in the league in points for, and around that number for a lot of key metrics. In attack, the Storm have had a very, very tough schedule to start the season, playing quite a few of the teams that preseason many considered to be the better premiership chances. So the fact that they are still well ahead of the Rabbitohs in almost every metric holds them in a really, really good stead here. And then defensively, they're a top 4 defensive side. And when you've been playing against the top sides, those numbers are very, very impressive. Whereas the Rabbitohs ranked second last in a lot of key metrics defensively. Rabbitohs do come off the bye, but they're not at full strength. They're on the road here against the Storm side, who have a very, very good record against them. The Storm should get the job done and get it done very, very easily. So taking Melbourne minus 13.5 at $1.90. I think they win this game and win it very, very easily. They get the opportunity to rack up points against the side, conceding 32.7 points per game this season. So couldn't really ask for a better opportunity for the Storm here to really put the foot down, get a for and against boost early on in the season. So that'll be the final play for Thursday for the games. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Make sure you subscribe, you have notifications on so you don't miss any of the bets coming up for the rest of the weekend. Hope you guys have a great ANZAC day. If you're betting on the horse racing today, make sure you check out the racing show. 13 plays across Flemington, Kensington, Sunshine Coast, and Ascot. And then we'll also be betting racing on Saturday as well. And other news as well. All these spreadsheets that you see here, comparing the teams for AFL, NRL, and I also have these that I use for all the American sports, all the soccer leagues as well. Haven't really done much content about them. I just use them privately, but showing these helps me do these videos and explain to you guys, why I'm putting certain bets on, why I think a matchup's going to go the way it is. So then you guys know that it's not just purely based on my opinion off a side. It's actually based on the facts and figures that those teams are producing. All of these spreadsheets, and right here, you're just looking at the matchup projections, but all the rankings, the situational analysis, betting history, all of that, I'm going to have available on the website in the next few days at absolute latest. So if you're interested in that, definitely keep an eye out. It's all going to be up online very soon for you guys to use so that you can dramatically increase your profits from betting. So hope you guys have a great ANZAC day leading into the weekend, and I'll talk to you guys really soon.